right, we're all set up, waiting to let people in. It's Wednesday. We have a PS5 back here. Let's start waving at our friends. Anybody interested in Invisalign? We have 2 spots available for our Invisalign party. We're all excited to have everyone in. And the amazing Dr. Velayo is joining us today. Waiting for her to get on in here. And here we go. Wave. How you doing, Doc?
Hey, how are you?
Happy Wild Card Wednesday to you. How are you?
It is my wild card Wednesday. I had a very wild card day full of, I always work out every Wednesday, so that's a non-negotiable. But I did end up going to the office today, interviewed a doctor, did some coaching, and now we get to do an IG Live.
Let's do it. And then it's still early over there for you, so knowing you probably have about 15 other things you want to take care of before the night's done.
I get some family time after this, which is really nice. And then once my son's asleep, then I do have a little bit more work lined up, but because it never ends as owners, right?
Never ends. Well, let's go ahead and get this started. Doc, can you tell the amazing people here on Instagram a little about yourself, who you are, where you're from, all that great stuff?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Bianca Velayo. I'm originally from Long Island, New York. I'm from the East Coast, actually. And
East Coast.
yeah, I did my undergrad at Tufts Dental School, and then Tufts undergrad, and then I went to Tufts Dental School right after. I took a leap of faith. I moved to Las Vegas because I wanted to work in a PDS supported practice with Dr. Muggleston. He was my OD mentor doc. And then 1 year after working as an associate, I had the opportunity to open my own de novo PDS office. So yeah, it's
one year. That's fast. So that means you walked in and you were just like knocking them down left and right, making huge connections with patients. And then after that, it's just like off to the races.
Exactly. I mean, looking back, and so it's my office I've been an owner for 5 years, almost 5 years now. And now actually me and my associate, Lulu Boo, she changed her handle now. It's Dr. Lulu Tang.
Fancy.
I know. So she's transitioning, right? It's no more underscore. It's Dr. Lulu Tang. But so it's fun to see the whole journey come full circle because I hired her as a new grad straight from dental school, coached her up, and her journey is just like mine, high performing associate, really embodying the culture and like great leader. And so then we're opening an office together where she's going to be, the main doc running the show over there next month in 2 weeks.
Wow. Time flies.
2.5 weeks, she's going to be the main doctor over there. And so, reflecting back on my journey, was I really prepared to be a business owner 1 year after dental school? Probably not. But sometimes, I felt like I had a good foundation. I trusted myself and you sort of just jump right in and, thankful for the support that PDS provides. And, there's just so many resources with, honestly, on local and national levels that really help support me to where I am today,
And that's something that I want to touch on. So you're doing so many different things. How do you feel being supported by PDS has kind of helped you do this extra doc on Instagram, being a mom, running a business? Like, how's that support helped you out?
I mean, because we get that a lot. I'm sure you get that a lot. People are like, do you think you're going to do it on your own? Would you branch out? And just like, honestly, like I have already a lot of headaches running my practice, but patients. I have a big team. I have like 18 people on my team. And to think that we're expanding, and I already feel so involved. I feel like I'm doing very well. The partnership is everything that I want out of my career. And because of the support, a lot of like that back end support, some of like that day to day that we don't have to deal with, like cutting checks for our employees or like you know, signage and like websites or whatever. I feel like my partnership with PDS is always having like executive assistance for any little task that I need. And because of that, it frees up my time so that I can do other things that I'm really passionate about, like Instagram videos and spending time with my family, you know?
All right. I totally agree with you. Same here on my end. It kind of frees you up to kind of enjoy other things in life and also get the most out of the things that you're working on. So you are huge on Instagram. What made you want to start your Instagram page?
You know, it's doctors like Dr. Mike. I don't know if you know him. He's like a medical doctor on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. Beauty by Dr. Cat. And so like those doctors, I remember like loving their pages, really looking up to them. And I'm like, well, how can I get into that space? And I was looking at the time, I was like, what other doctors were out there? And dentists, and I felt like a lot of like the big dental, actually Dr. Appa, you know, he had a really big Instagram page that was just joining, and they were just doing like lots of like teeth posts. And I was just like, you know, I'm not, for me, and it was so funny. I scroll through Instagram and following all these Instagram docs, and my husband will be like, ew, like, why do people post that? Like, he didn't like seeing pictures of teeth. My husband's not at all. And so it sort of got me thinking. I was like, well, if I'm going to make a page and I want people to come to my page, you know, what do you think people would be interested in? You know, I felt like there was already lots of people doing the dental cases. And I was like, you know, truth be told, like as a newer doctor, I didn't feel like my work could really stand up with some of those people who were doing like, you know, all on four, crazy, you know, cosmetic cases, whatever it is. And so I had to think about what my passion was or is. And I was just like, I love connecting with the patients. I love just being relatable to the patients. Like, I think some of my favorite compliments that patients give me are just like, wow, like you know, we're shattering perceptions of what dentistry is. They're like, you don't look like a, or you're not, this doesn't feel like a dentist's office,
Right.
You know? And so I realized that like my approach to patient care, which is fun, relatable, sort of demystify dental experience. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to make these videos. And it sort of just blossomed ever since. And I felt like it was fun. I can show off like my humor, my personality, you know, and
you can be yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I think I told you the very first time I met you in person, like your page is one of the pages that I followed and was like, you know what? I could take some tips from her page. Because like you say, everyone's doing, you know, teeth and things like that, but our patients, they don't want to see that. Like if they see a little bit of blood, they're like swiping away. So why not showcase your personality and let these patients know, hey, look, I'm a human just like you are. I enjoy listening to music just like you do. Hey, you know, this is going on in my life. Try to relate to the patient so that they feel like, okay, well, I'm not just going to the dentist. One of the biggest compliments a patient gave me recently was, I'm not going to the dentist. I'm just going to a kickback. I'm going to get some stuff done. I'm going to relax at your office, and I'm going to listen to some good music. I'm going to laugh with the assistants, Valaya, Cartier, Kendall, and Krista, all the people in the office, and enjoy myself. And then afterwards, you know, I've got my crown, I got my root canal, and I'm good to go. And I'll see you guys when I need to come back. So, like, that's one of the biggest things. And for me, I try to highlight my team because it's all about them. Like, the show's not about me, it's about them. We're having a good time, we're enjoying ourselves, and more patients overall will come in and want to see that and be involved in that family.
I love that. And, you know, like that brings up a really good point. Like, cause I remember being a new grad and like, still, you know, you know, Instagram and like social media has been so great cause I'm connecting with so many doctors, and dental students. And you know, common question I get a lot is like, you know, how do you prevent, you know, I remember when I first graduated, like feeling stressed going to work, right? So how do you like overcome that anxiety? And I remember, you know, when I mean, honestly, yeah, it only up until the last couple of years that I finally start feeling comfortable. But I remember being a new grad 1 or 2 years out, feeling stressed going to work, you know? And I asked a more senior doctor who was running multiple practices, just started a family. And I was like, how are you smiling? Like, I'm so stressed. And one office and I don't even have a kid yet. And he was like, you know, I just go to work and I just have fun and I hang out with my patients.
Yep.
And I didn't click with me at the time, but it's exactly what you're saying, which is that, you know, if we focus not, you know, it's not stressful because we're just trying to relate to our patients, just talk to them. Like you said, we're kicking it. And like, I think because we're making it a really fun, relaxed atmosphere, getting the whole team involved, you know, and like, it is more fun to go to work. And that's the best way to go to work, you know, where it doesn't feel like
it's not work. It is not work. So I want to piggyback on something you talked about a little bit earlier, your oral health minute. I love those videos. I remember when I started my Instagram, that was like one of my first reposts because I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I've been saying to my patients. This is the point that I'm trying to get across. So can you tell the audience a little bit about that amazing segment that you do ever so often? I think you do it, what, at least twice a month or something like that?
So Oral Health Minute, I try to release a video like, okay, mom life, like that day. I'm sure you can relate dad life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's more things. I used to be a way better poster. But yeah, when I first started, I used to release a new video every week.
Wow.
Yes, yes. And it's hard because it takes multiple hours to get those videos going. But Oral Health Minute essentially is an educational and entertaining, you know, video series on my Instagram. It's meant to be short, right? Because let's be real, like whenever I watch videos, I don't really have a lot of attention span for something more than a minute.
Right.
So, and it's supposed to be easily digestible because for me, I felt like, you know, on this amazing platform, I didn't want to just attract just dentists. You know, I figured, you know, I have a lot of my own family, my own friends watching. And so I just wanted to make sure it's something that everyone can get, you know, information and knowledge from, and in a way that, like I said, is like sort of easy to understand. And so everyone's learning, leaves like entertained, but also educated.
Right. So I see we have a lot of people starting to check in. If you guys have any questions for the great doc, please put it in the comments section. That's how we're going to do our giveaway. Doctor, can you please tell them how you came up with the idea of doing this giveaway? It was so genuine. I think the audience should know that. It was all your idea to do this giveaway on this Instagram Live.
Well, you know, like what's wonderful, and I know you do know too, but like we get to work with such amazing companies and brands and they send stuff to us and like, you know, there's only so many like free toothbrushes that I need. And so I was like, hey, while we're here, I figured let's draw up some excitement about our Instagram Live. I wanted to do a giveaway. I know you have a giveaway as well. And so if you want a giveaway, just comment or ask a question. And then round to the at the end, both Dr. Golden and I will pick 2 lucky winners. I'm raffling away a Colgate Hum toothbrush, and then you will be giving away
a nice, amazing Sonicare toothbrush. Has app capabilities. You're gonna love it. You're gonna feel so clean afterwards. Again, shout out to Philips. Thank you guys for giving me this toothbrush so that I can give away to our amazing audience.
Yeah. So give us a question down to the end.
Any questions? So I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to talk about next, why dentistry, Doc? What made you want to get involved with dentistry? Were you just always in a dental office as a kid, or you just stumbled upon it? What was the aha moment for you to become a dentist?
You know, it really goes back to, it's really funny. I feel like it's a little bit perchance, like when I was in high school, I thought I wanted to be a pediatrician. Like my pediatrician, she was just such a wonderful, like female role model. And for my sophomore year of high school, we had to do a class project and you had to do like a career presentation. And part of the presentation, you had to interview someone of that profession. I was being really lazy. I had an upcoming dental visit planned and I was like, let me just go interview my dentist because that way, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And interviewing our family dentist, I was just so, I mean, she clearly loved her job. And then as I gave the presentation on what dentistry was, I basically convinced myself that I wanted to be a dentist, you know? And I planted the seed in my heart, and that's sort of just how I am. Like, I'm just a really passionate person. I felt like dentistry, I viewed it as a way that I can be a trusted figure in my community, a way that I can help people, you know, work with my hands. And just the more that I learned about it, I can't imagine anything other than being a dentist, you know, like being a business owner, you know, advocating for the mouth body connection and just helping people have better health. You know, I've always loved that. I knew about that for like I remember I was applying to dental school and I was talking about the mouth body connection.
Wow. See, you were
You
ahead of
know?
the game.
Well,
So,
you know, there was so much research about it already. Like, it was starting to come out, and I remember talking about it in my interview, being like, you know, this is why I want to be a dentist. Like, as I felt like it was an underdog medical field, and that, you know, people need to know that the mouth is the way to the body.
That's something that I want to advocate for. Right now, I'm making a huge push to try to, you know, bring that spotlight to dentistry, because a lot of people don't know about it. Growing up for me, it was all about, oh, you want to be an MD, an MD, an MD. But what about the other, you know, specialists, other fields like optometry, veterinarian school, like things like that. So I do what I can to kind of spotlight dentistry as much as possible, let patients or potential dentists know exactly what we're doing. Again, I'm really pushing for that. Want to make sure that we get more people in the field, people like you, basically. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, and people like you, and I think, you know, that was really like when I started doing Oral Health Minute and seeing such a positive reaction, and I'm sure that's what inspired you to start your page too, is because, you know, I remember also when I was in dental school, I was a fourth year, I was doing interviewing, I was part of the admissions team, right? Like interviewing new students who come to the school. And I'll be like, why do you want to be a dentist? And they're like, oh, because I didn't get into medical school. Like, I was so, I don't know if that offends you, but like,
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people go to dental school, or that was a common answer, right? I'm going to dental because medical is too hard. And I was just like, that's not the type of passion that we need. Like, people already think like The Hangover, we're not real doctors or whatever.
Exactly.
You know? And like, it's just something like I love, and that's why I think the mouth body connection and everything, and just like how we care for our patients, all of the, you know, congratulations on your We Serve award, right? Like all of the good work that you do in the community, right? Like that's really what's distinguishing dentists as people who, you know, care for your health and care for your well-being, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So we got some questions starting to roll in. Question right here. What kept you motivated during dental school and starting out post-graduation? What kept you motivated?
What, you know, just in dental school, just graduating, like knowing that eventually I would be done with all the books and all this crazy tests and stuff like that, that I would be practicing in the real world. You know, I got a lot of confidence when I went into the clinic, because it was, like we said, we're talking about here, it's all about the relationships that we build with patients. And I knew that, you know, in the real world, it would just be about the relationship and just helping people. And, you know, it wasn't just about grades, you know, so I think that helped me get through.
Awesome. Another question. What's the best recommendation for sensitive gums? I'm going to say we're going to need you to come in for an exam. We need to see why these gums are sensitive. We can evaluate those, take x-rays, and then if need be, have you see my amazing periodontist or another periodontist that I have in my area, like Dr. Zuli, so we can help you out with those sensitive gums. So let's make an appointment if you're in South Florida or if you are in Nevada.
Yeah. Healthy gums don't bleed. And so if your gums are sensitive, it might be signs of something underlying, like gum disease, like Dr. Golden said. So yeah, just, I wouldn't ignore it. And so make an appointment and we can take a look.
And then speaking of Dr. Zuli, she asks, what are your top 3 goals, Dr. V?
What are my top 3 goals? I mean, professional or personal? I mean, that's a loaded question, because, I mean, I guess my immediately, like, things that are going on are, number 1, I'm building a house right now.
I saw that. That's a huge amount of land. What are you going to, like a big mansion? Going to have like a tooth building or something? Because that's a lot of land.
Well, it's really common in Las Vegas. So growing up on the East Coast, everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're building a house." I'm like, "Well, because Nevada is like a new state. There's just so much like undeveloped land, so it's very common to build a house." But so my goal right now is try to have a house. But honestly, like also my other goal right now is just trying to find a lot of balance. I'm opening a new practice next month, and I supported a lot of new team members. So right now I'm just really trying to grow my business in a way that's sustainable and reproducible, and just helping train all of my new team members and my new doctors and front office staff up, which is a lot. But at the same time, I know that my family really needs me. Like my husband was like, "Well, when am I going to see you?" And so
He's no slouch either, though. He's a rock star, like literally a rock star. So you're busy in the daytime, he's busy at night.
We do, exactly. And so we're trying to get more on the same page, especially because having a new a 2-year-old son, just trying to balance it all. But I'm working on having just more structure in that sense to maintain like my home relationships, because that's really what drives me too, like having the happiness that my family gives me, which I'm sure you can relate to, helps keep me calm and focused throughout the day. So those are really my goals. That was a hard question.
So you're talking about opening up this new practice, but can you tell the people about your successful practice that you're currently in right now, Green Valley Smiles, correct?
Yes, Green Valley Smiles Dentistry. We're in Henderson, Nevada. My office has been over 5 years. Over 5 years old, which is amazing. And it's been such a journey. Like I remember when I first opened it, and because you had a startup as well, like patients going through the door. And I'm just like, actually how I grew my practice on Sundays, I did everything. I had to get the name out there, but particularly I remember on Sunday, our office is near a church. And so the public would park in front of my office. So I set up donuts and handed out coffee and giving out toothbrush kits. Like that's what I was just like, everyone needs to know that we're here. Marketing. And so it's funny to see that now a couple years later, see the fruits of the labor, see really like my reputation grow. And now like the phones just won't stop ringing. And it's a really big blessing. And it's really cool to see, like that's us, a team, everything that we've done.
How far is the new office from your current office?
So my new office that Dr. Tang is going to be the main doctor at, it's going to be like sort of near the Strip. So it's going to be 20 minutes away.
Okay.
So it's a completely different like
demographics.
Which is perfect because she is, really plugged in the whole like nightlife industry over here. So I think it's going to be wonderful for her. And I'm like, I always tell her, I get so excited. I'm like, I'm so excited to teach you all the like lessons that I had to learn the hard way. Like, please don't make the same mistakes, like
listen to my headaches, please. Just listen to my headaches. I promise it's gonna help. I love Dr. Tang. She has an amazing page.
What? Yeah,
I love
your startup. Like, what are some of like you feel like your biggest lessons you've learned?
Ooh, I've learned you can't just depend on the local area. Reaching out to different community events, going around town and trying to, partner with as many people as possible is a huge component of having a successful business. Also, leveraging social media. A lot of our patients do come from Instagram, but it allows us to build that community online. So when a patient comes in, they've already know the name of my office manager. They already know the assistants. So it's just like seeing everybody that you saw on TV, like, oh, that's Cartier. Oh my God, he's gonna do my x-rays. So it's so funny when like a patient comes in and they're like at the end of it, hey, can I take a picture with you? I'm like, this is weird. Sure, why not? Let's do it. But they already feel connected. They're already a part of the family. And that's the biggest thing for me, I think, with growing a successful business.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love everything that you've done with your Instagram, and that's cool that you've been able to use it. Like, and I agree because people ask a lot, like, oh, how do you get patients from Instagram? I'm like, sometimes it's hard to also count like the ROI, like what's the conversion? Because not everyone has an Instagram, but for the people that find you, obviously you can count those. But for the people who may just look at your Instagram or your content as a way to like choose you over someone else who doesn't have a presence online, or over someone else who maybe doesn't seem as welcoming or as approachable, so they're all resources that patients are using to help evaluate, like, who do they trust or who do they think they're going to be a good with.
Exactly. And that's the biggest thing, trust. You want to make sure that your patients feel comfortable and they trust you, and keep them happy in the long term.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start to wrap it up, Doc. I know you got a lot of things to do on your Wild Card Wednesday, so I'm going to ask you a nice wild card question. I see that you're doing a lot of like kickboxing and things of that nature. What are some of your other hobbies you like to do besides dentistry?
Obviously working out, like that's big. Like, I grew up always just like, fitness and healthy lifestyle was always like, my parents always wanted to enroll me in something. Like, I was in dance growing up. I ran track and field. In college, I was a varsity rower. And then, just most recently I started doing, over the last 3-4 years, I started doing boxing, which I see you're doing too.
Love it. Great stress reliever. It allows you to get some of that rage out, but also work on like your hands and feet, and it keeps you motivated.
Yeah. So honestly, like, I would just say like exercise is really big for me. Other than that, I don't think I have much time for other fun things.
You never wanted to follow in your husband's footsteps, get on stage, be a rocker, anything like that?
Actually, I do like to sing and I can play guitar. But it was so funny because like I know how to play guitar and sing, and I'll make videos and I'll send it to my dad. I'm like, look, I learned how to play this song, like, and I can sing. Playing and singing is hard. And my dad will just be like, okay, you should stick to dentistry. So,
thanks for the support, Dad.
Which is good. I was like, I get it. I know I'm not going to go professional like my husband. But I actually haven't played a lot of music lately. I do sing a lot. We're singing. Since I have a son, like, do you sing to your children?
That's my wife. I let her use her beautiful voice. I'll do the reading or something. Recently, my son's getting really into video games. And yesterday, he literally had me playing PlayStation for a good hour. And we had so much fun together. So trying to find ways to bond with them. I love the fact that he wants to play video games, because growing up, I was really good at it. So now it's just playing with him and not beating him too much, because if you beat him too much, then he's not going to want to play with me anymore. So...
Yeah, it's cool. Like, with my son now, we do a lot of like activities. So, I'm such a mom, but you are too, like being a dad, but you're so proud. My son has a great arm, so he can throw the ball. Now we're playing hockey. So we got outdoors, go to the park, play, get some fresh air. So, just get out of the house.
Yeah, especially after the past year. So no, I definitely understand. My son's right now doing swimming, so that's his thing. So awesome for having you, Doc. So let's go ahead and scroll through and find our winners. You want to go ahead and go first and find a winner?
Sure. So my winner is Brianna XXVII. If you're still on, congratulations. And I will DM you to get you your information for your Colgate Hum toothbrush.
Right. And then my winner is going to be, let's see, Aluka. So ALUC07. Congratulations. You're going to be my winner. If you could just go ahead and DM me, and I will connect with you, and then I'll get the information and we'll send over your toothbrush. Yay! Congratulations. Thank you guys so much for asking great questions. Dr. Velayo, thank you so much for being my guest. I remember months ago, I asked you to be a guest on the show, and I was so afraid you were going to be like, no, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. But when you were like, sure, for you, anything, that touched my heart. I truly appreciate it. You are the best.
Well, thank you. And I literally love everything that you're doing with the Chairside. So keep it up, and I hope to see you and talk to you soon.
Looking forward to seeing you in person soon.
All
Take
right.
care. Have a good
Bye.
night. Bye.